There's only one Darth Vader, or so you thought, because Star Wars has created versions of Vader that almost nobody knows about. A Vader who kills Palpatine and takes over the galaxy himself. A Vader who kills Yoda. A Vader who turns Leia into a Sith. A Vader who returns in white armor as a Jedi. And a Vader so powerful that the regular movie Vader looks like the free trial version by comparison. Some of these versions are tragic, some are absurd, and one is so dangerous you almost have to be glad Anakin burned on Mustafar. Let's start with the version that proves why Obi-Wan's high ground warning may have been the single most important safety mechanism in the entire galaxy, the unburned Emperor Vader. It comes from the video game adaptation of Revenge of the Sith, which has an alternate ending to the Mustafar duel. Then comes the famous moment. Obi-Wan stands above, Anakin below, and Obi-Wan tells him not to try it. In the film, Anakin tries anyway and loses almost everything, but in this version, he leaps over Obi-Wan's position, catches him from behind, kills his old master, and kicks him toward the lava. And with that, the entire future changes. Anakin is never burned and never maimed. No black suit, no helmet, no dramatic breathing. That makes every room instantly sound like a layoff announcement. Then Palpatine lands on Mustafar, declares there are no enemies left, and makes a rather poor personnel decision. He gives Anakin a new lightsaber. He hands a furious man who just kicked Obi-Wan into the lava another weapon. That's about as smart as giving a burning rancor a can of gasoline. And Anakin does exactly what an unstable, unburned Vader would do. He kills Palpatine directly, no long Sith contract, no probation period. Then he declares himself the new ruler of the galaxy. And here, it gets unsettling. Palpatine was evil, but he had a plan. Anakin would only have rage. An empire under him would have been a galactic temper tantrum with paperwork. And if you think that's the most dangerous version, here comes the complete opposite. A Vader who doesn't get darker but brighter. The redeemed Vader in white armor. In Star Wars Infinities, Return of the Jedi, the story goes differently. Everything tips over from the start. Boba Fett escapes with the frozen Han. Jabba dies, C-3PO is destroyed, and suddenly the whole rescue mission is a logistical nightmare. So basically, a normal day for the Rebel Alliance. Later, Luke faces Vader and the Emperor again at the second Death Star. He refuses to kill his father, but this time, he reveals something more, that Leia is also his child, and that truth breaks something open in Vader. Learning you have a son is one thing, realizing you have two children and both would rather die than give up on you is another entirely. Vader falls to his knees and begs forgiveness. Anakin Skywalker returns, not as a ghost, not in the last second before death, but alive. In the end, he stands beside his children in a white version of his armor, ready to hunt the fled Emperor. But Star Wars wouldn't be Star Wars if a beautiful version weren't immediately followed by one where the universe decides today there is no hope, only pain. The Vader who killed Yoda. In the Infinities version of The Empire Strikes Back, it all begins with a brutal change. Luke dies on Hoth. Han finds him too late. With his final breath, Luke doesn't say he needs saving, but that Han should become a Jedi, which sounds a lot like telling a taxi driver, congratulations, you're now a brain surgeon. But Yoda has other plans. On Dagobah, he explains that it's not Han who must be trained, but Leia. While Leia trains, Vader keeps hunting for Luke, not knowing his son is long dead. A father chasing a ghost, not realizing it's only his own pain. Vader finally meets Yoda on Dagobah, but it's not a lightsaber duel, it's a battle of wills. And in the middle of it, Vader is haunted by the spirits of the Jedi he once knew as Anakin. Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, Mace Windu. And in the middle of that fight, Vader learns the truth. Luke is dead. In that exact moment, he breaks Yoda's resistance and deals the killing blow. Yes, in this timeline, Darth Vader is the one who kills Yoda. Not age, not illness, not peacefully becoming one with the Force. Vader! In the end, Leia fights her father and cuts off his arm, and when Han steps in, Anakin returns one last time. As Leia removes his mask, he recognizes her as his daughter. He loses his son without ever finding him, kills Yoda, and only at the end realizes there was another child. But there's a version where Leia isn't the one who stops Vader. She's the one he drags into the darkness with him. Vader as the master of Sith Leia. In the Infinities version of A New Hope, Luke doesn't destroy the Death Star, the rebel base is wiped out, and Leia is captured and taken to Coruscant. And there, Vader slowly begins pulling her to the dark side. In the original, he's the fallen father redeemed by his child. Here, he corrupts his own child. That's not parenting, that's Galactic Child Protective Services, level 9000. Years later, Leia is a fully trained Sith at the Empire's side, and that's so powerful because she wouldn't be some ordinary student. Politically sharp, strong-willed. A Sith Leia would be dangerous not just for the power, but because she can lead. Only at the very end, when the Emperor attacks the twins, does Vader turn on his master to save his children. Anakin dies here too, but the thought lingers. What if Leia had stayed on the dark side for good? The galaxy wouldn't have had one Vader, it would have had two. And now, the strangest version of all. A Vader with no Force, no Skywalker tragedy, no I am your father, but with maximum 1970s villain energy. General Darth Vader. This version comes from a comic adaptation of George Lucas's very first draft screenplay, from a time when Star Wars wasn't quite Star Wars yet. Here, Vader is no fallen Jedi, not Luke's father, not even Force sensitive. He's simply a human Imperial officer with scars, a red cybernetic eye, and enough drama in the name to still be taken seriously. Basically, this is Vader if you delete the Force, the tragedy, and the helmet, and keep only the bad-tempered project manager of the Empire, commanding forces, plotting intrigue, and scheming to overthrow the Emperor. But none of these versions come close to the Vader, who no longer just looks like a Sith, but like a natural disaster of the dark side. Dark Dimension Vader. In the Fortress Vader story, Vader builds his castle on Mustafar for one reason: to open a rift into the afterlife. His goal isn't power or dominion, he wants to bring Padme back. When he steps through the portal, his spirit enters another plane of the Force where past, future, pain, and memory collapse into each other. And there, what fans call Dark Dimension Vader is born. Here, Vader is no longer the slow Sith from the films. Here, he's almost godlike. He encounters an apparition of Palpatine and kills it instantly with red Force lightning from Vader. This is the man we know from the films as a wheezing black nightmare. And here he looks like a final boss the game menu apologizes for in advance. He wipes out an apparition of the Jedi Council in seconds. He's no longer just a warrior, he's pain with a cape. But here's the tragedy, all that power gets him nothing. Because when he finds Padme, she tells him the man she loved is long gone. And then he loses her again. Not to Obi-Wan, not to Palpatine, but to the truth. Vader can destroy anything, but he can't bring back what he broke himself. That's why he's maybe the strongest version here, and the saddest. 6 versions. A Vader who becomes Emperor, a Vader who returns in white, a Vader who kills Yoda, a Vader who turns Leia into a Sith, a general with no Force, and a dark god of pain, guilt, and lost love. And maybe that's exactly why Darth Vader is never truly finished. No matter how you turn the story, he stays the dark center. One small change on Mustafar, one missed shot at Yavin, a dead Luke on Hoth. And the entire galaxy burns differently because Vader was never just a man in black armor. He was a tipping point. And in almost every timeline, one small push is enough, and Anakin Skywalker becomes not just Darth Vader, but something worse. Which of these versions do you think deserved its own story the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more from the forgotten corners of the galaxy, watch this video next.